longer. I hope you're all well. Welcome to the Year 1 webinar. This is our first webinar, so I hope it goes well, and I'm sure it will. So we'll start with this term in Autumn 2. So we have all the core areas: maths, English, science, history, DT, PSHE and RE. And as you can see, you can read along the top, those are the main topics we have been focusing on. The children have been doing really well this term. Obviously, the first term they were just settling in, the transition from reception to Year 1. But I feel that in Autumn 2, they've settled in really well and they're making fantastic progress, and we're all very proud. I'll just give you a minute to just sort of have a look at what we've been learning about. Okay, moving on to the next slide. So reading. Reading has been a really big driving force this term. We're really pushing for the children to sort of excel and do better with their reading, which they have been. We have really good readers in this class. So you may have noticed that in the mornings, we actually read with the children every day to help with that. Obviously, book change is on a Friday, which I know you're aware of. But if you do require more books, or if you need any support with anything, or if you'd like some extra reading material, please let me know, or Miss Shake, and we can provide that for you. We expect children to sort of read at home every day for 5 to 10 minutes. Next example I have is, sorry, I'll just give you a minute to read that. So reading diaries. I've actually got, I hope the parents in this webinar don't mind, but I've actually used their child's reading diary as an example. Please, can you make sure that you're filling in the diary with your comments, anything that you think might be helpful for us, because obviously I do check them, and I just like to see what they're doing at home and how much they are reading. So that would be really useful for me, please. If you can, that'd be great. Like I said, every day, please, 5 to 10 minutes of reading would really help at home. Next thing we have is sort of an example of Optima. So we do Optima reading and Optima maths. As you may be aware, we sort of have a technique where you, as you can see on the screen, you have a 10, which we draw as an oval, and then we draw out the ones in lines, and then we add them together. The children have been doing really well with that. We're really impressed. They've actually working above where they should be with it, some of them, which is really impressive. So we will be sending sort of more homework which will look like this. So it's just something to sort of make you aware, and something that you can recognise when you do see it, and when the children are doing it at home, it will look more familiar to you. Next slide is, and here you'll see just sort of some of the activities we've been doing in class. The top left, you can see some of the children. We've been ordering days of the week, days, months in the year. In science, the top right, the children made string telephones. So we've been learning all about the human body and the senses. So we were learning about sound the other day. Again, the photo underneath is about time. So the expectation in Year 1 is to be able to tell the time to o'clock and past. Put the days of the week in order and the months of the year in order. So we've been doing a lot of that, and 1 hour before and 1 hour after. In DT, the children have been making houses, which they've been very excited about. They've been doing very well with that as well. Yeah, so this half term as well in RE, a focus is the nativity, so the story of Jesus. So we'll be learning a lot about that as well. And yeah, so we've had a very busy second part to our autumn term. Finally, we'll move on to questions. Do you have any questions for me? If you do have any questions, if you would like to just type them, please, in the Q&A box, that would be great. So I've got one question here. When will they be learning times tables? That will be coming up in sort of the next half term. We'll be doing more of that sort of grouping objects together. So that will be after Christmas. So I've got another question. Would you please explain more about part of human body? Yeah, so the main focus in year one is the senses. So obviously sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. So that's the main focus, and changes to the body as in what happens when we run, our heart beats faster, blood pumps around. It's quite basic things that we're doing in year one. Hope that answers your question. I've got another question here. What can I do to support their maths at home? That's a great question. If you sort of reinforce addition, subtraction, counting on, counting back, that would be really good. And obviously they're very strong with doing that, but we just need to keep building these skills, because we do the math skills every day, which is all of that doubling, which is really important, number bonds to 10 to 20, practicing counting in tens, counting in twos, fives would all be really helpful. If you need any more material, please let me know and I can provide it for you. I've got another question here. What about PE? How is that going? The children love PE. They've been doing really well. Mr. Talabi takes them for a session and I do a session with them. And they've been doing really well with it. They really enjoy it. And I think if you ask them, they'd probably say it's their favourite part of the day, part of the week. Got another question here. Lastly, do you do regular spelling tests? Yes, we do. So what we have been doing, which we felt like was more effective, we've been practicing the spellings every day in class and then been doing the test. So the children have become really like familiar with the sounds. So like Blue Group have the O split E sound, so like cone, bone, and they've been doing really well. We found it really effective practicing in class. Any other questions I can answer for you? Oh, thanks for all your hard work and effort. Thank you. Thank you for your lovely children. Is there anything else I can help with or answer? I hope that was helpful. Like I said, if you do have any worries or any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If you want to ask me a question privately, that's absolutely fine as well. You can email me. It's gsaffery@peterhillssouthwark.co.uk. Anything I can help with, please let me know. I think obviously most of you in this chat do have my email address, so please don't hesitate to get in contact if you do have any questions. I think I've got one more question. Any tips about writing skills? Yes, I think writing as much as possible. So maybe at the weekends, even if it's just simple sentences about something they've done. It could have been anything simple. I went to the shop, I played with my toys. A lot of the children were trying to really reinforce handwriting and sentences, like using full stop, like punctuation. So the more they practice writing sentences, the better, because in year one, a big focus is handwriting and holding their pencil correctly and sort of making sure their sentences make sense. So this week we've been doing diary entries. So you could ask your child to write a diary entry for what they did over the weekend. I know obviously it's lockdown, so you're probably not doing as much as you'd like, but even if they just write about their day from what time they woke up to what they did that day, even if it's watching TV or playing with their toys. It would really help. The more they practice, the better writers they become, and the more they read, the better writers they become. So that would be great. Any other questions I can help with? Sorry, I think I've got one more here. Oh, no, sorry, no, I've answered that one. Is there anything else I can help with at all? Any other questions for you? No? Okay, well, if that's everything, then thank you so much for joining me on this webinar. I hope you found it useful. Like I said, anything you need help with, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a good evening. Oh, sorry, one more question here. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No worries. Thank you all for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Thank you for joining.